Good morning, guys, and welcome to another amazing day of ELA. Okay, so we're just gonna hop right into it. So this week, when we've been reading Monster, the graphic novel, and the screenplay. Okay, screenplay was first, graphic novel was second. If you haven't done that, you're gonna get into that today. But the other thing we've been talking about a lot has been point of view, okay? How or what perspective the story is being told from. So again, there's two main types of point of view. One, first person point of view. This is using pronouns like I, me, mine, okay? We, us, our, okay? The character in the story gives a detailed perspective by helping you understand the character's thoughts and feelings and letting you in on the character's secrets, okay? Because if I'm telling the story, you get the inside knowledge from me, but you may not know what anyone else is thinking. Where we get into our third person point of view, okay, using pronouns like he, she, him, her, and their, okay, is someone outside the story who gives a broader perspective by telling you things about the background, the setting, and the characters. They might not know all of this information because this narrator is outside the story and has some extra information. They're also telling you things about characters and about other characters that the main character might not know. Okay? And again, there's third person limited, where I only know about one character. I'm outside the story, but I only know about one character. Or there's third person omniscient or all-knowing, and I know what everybody thinks and feels. Okay, so I just wanted to review that real quick, and then I'm going to talk to you what we're going to be doing today. So we are in Google Classroom, okay, so this is what you're going to do. Okay, so I need you to get to Google Classroom, okay? I need you to click on the classwork tab. So it's automatically going to bring you to the stream. I need you to go to the classwork tab, okay? So your stuff looks like this, okay? The first thing you're going to do, okay, number one, first thing, okay? You are going to make sure that you have read through the graphic novel, okay? So there's two different ways to do it, okay? The first way, okay, is, okay, this is the, come on. We scroll all the way down, past this, and we come here. Okay, this is the sign that you're at the graphic novel portion, okay? And then you're gonna go ahead and read through the graphic novel version. Okay, this is the same version, okay? This is the same version or the same chunk of information that we read in the screenplay, okay? So you will notice some similarities and some differences, okay? This is gonna be important, okay? And again, it's written in like a comic book style, so there's not as many words as the screenplay, but I want you to take a look at the art, take a look at the setting, take a look at how they're being shown, okay? Look at what's being said, okay? Because there are going to be similarities, but there's also going to be differences because the artist who worked with Myers to create this graphic novel version, right, it's not exactly the same. So I want you to take some time, read through the few words that we do have, and two, look at the art and kind of look at the similarities and differences, and do you feel like you get a different feel about the story or Steve through the graphic novel version. Okay, that's number one. Number two, okay, once you have done that, okay, you should have attached pictures, okay, in screenplay pictures, okay, you should have done that. But number two, once you have finished the graphic novel, which is one, number two is Monster screenplay and graphic novel questions, okay? So it has directions, so we want to read those, okay? Anytime there's directions, we should read them, okay? Using the screenplay and the graphic novel versions of Monster on pages 60 to 76, answer the Google Doc questions in at least 2 to 3 sentences each. We'll click that Google Doc, okay? We'll make it a little bit bigger, okay? So you should be able to see this pretty good, okay? Let's look at these directions here. I gotta fix that. Answer the following questions about Monster, both the screenplay and the graphic novel. Okay, so the questions are gonna be about the screenplay and the graphic novel, both. Which is on pages 60 to 76, okay, in your orange book, okay? Or you can use the online textbook. There's a link where I showed you. In at least 2 to 3 sentences. 2 to 3 sentences. If you do not use 2 to 3 sentences, you will not get full credit, okay? Hear me when I'm telling you, okay? When I'm looking at these, I'm going to be looking for these 2 to 3 sentences. To fully answer every part of the question. So kind of like the questions that we did in the book, okay? Sometimes there's like a 2-part question where there's 2 question marks. We got to answer both of those. Same thing here. If it's asking you 2 different things, you have to make sure you put those 2 different things in your answer. When it asks for details or text evidence, make sure you include it in your answer, okay? So let's take a look at the first question here. So reread paragraphs 1 to 2 of the first selection. Okay, so the screenplay, the Monster screenplay. How does Steve distinguish himself from the others in the jail and why? Okay, cite evidence. So, just gonna give you a hint. If it tells you to go back to a specific paragraph, we should probably go back to the specific paragraph. So we're gonna find it here on page 60, and we're gonna look at these 2, okay? They say you get used to being in jail, but I don't see how. Every morning I wake up and I'm surprised to be here. If life outside was real, then everything in here is just the opposite. We sleep with strangers, wake up with strangers, and go to the bathroom in front of strangers. They're strangers, but they still find reasons to hurt each other. Sometimes I feel like I've walked into the middle of a movie. It is a strange movie with no plot, no beginning. The movie is black and white and grainy. Sometimes the camera moves in so close that you can't tell what is going on, and you just listen to the sounds and guess. I have seen movies of prisons, but never one like this. This is not a movie about bars and locked doors. It's about being alone when you're not really alone, and about being scared all the time. Okay, so after reading that, okay, the rest of these you're gonna have to do on your own, but I'll give you a hint with this one, okay? So we've read paragraphs 1 and 2. How does he distinguish himself or make himself different from the other people in the jail, okay? So 1, he says, I don't see how I could get used to this, okay? So he's assuming that those other people are used to it. 2, okay, he wakes up and he's surprised, okay? He says they're strangers, but they still find reasons to hurt each other. So he's not saying we're strangers and we find reasons to hurt each other. He's saying they do. So he's separating himself as like that kind of violence is not what he wants to be involved in. And then he says, you know, it's about being alone when you're not being alone and scared all the time. Okay, so, and again, we have to cite evidence. So we're going to have to go back to the book and pick a good quote. But let's start answering the question. So we have Steve distinguishes himself by describing the people in the jail and how he is not like them. So he says he's not like them, and I'm going to use they're strangers, but they still find reasons to hurt each other, because I think that's a good way that he's saying they don't mind the violence, I do. Okay, so he's separating himself there. So I'm gonna put quotation marks, and I'm gonna write my quote. They're strangers, but they still find reasons to hurt each other, period, quotation marks, and this is from page 60. Okay, so I have my answer. I have answered how he distinguishes himself. Okay, he separates himself in the description, and this is one description that he separates himself by. Okay, they're strangers, but they still find reasons to hurt each other, page 60. Okay, so if you want to copy that answer for me, go right ahead. Okay, but you are going to continue to answer questions 2 through 5, 2 through 5 on your own, okay, and then make sure you turn it in when you're done. All right, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Be good. Bye, guys.